Hey, hey Zach, how are you? Mm. Hey Pablo, was geht ab? How was the week? How was the week? Nice. Da, 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 da. Hey, how are you? Mrs. Color, Comic Color, Coloring Queen. How are you? Da, da, da. Hello, Mr. Black and White. Yeah, that's me. Always. That's how I see life. Black and white. Always black and white. Where's my dip pen? Ah, my table is chaos. Pure chaos. Mom's here. Moms? What do you mean with moms? Your mom. No, you're not my mom. Hey Marley, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I think I pushed the exposure a little bit too bright here today. Are there any new infos about the art book? Art book is in the making. Nothing changed there yet, so nothing new for you right now. Sorry that I don't have more for you, Pablo. But as soon as I have, you are first person to know. Promise. Okay, that's a bit better. You do eyebrows better than many makeup artists. That's all I do, eyebrows. That's all I do. Eyebrows all day. How's the comic work going? Still fun? Pablo, how is drawing going, by the way? Haven't asked you for a while. Bin letztens umgezogen, also zeichne ich nicht so viel. Hast du kein kleines Sketchbook dabei? Immer ein kleines Sketchbook dabei haben. Dann ist das auch kein Problem. Will you draw a comic book? Not sure yet. Not sure yet. I mean, I need to say I have fun though doing these here, and I'm really into the research of things right now, like learning more about paneling and everything every day. But I'm just doing it because it's fun. So, yeah, I don't know, can't tell yet. Don't want to say something that I don't do later on, you know? Done that too much in the past. How about you? How about you making a comic book? Since you're already in the process. What's the main structure that I should learn to improve my face proportions? And love your videos. Thank you so much. How did I improve my face proportions? I mean, number one, draw a lot of faces. Most obvious. Number two, try to observe much more as you think. Like, we often, like, when I say we, I'm talking about people who do education content on YouTube, for example, or other artists. We often say that you should draw a lot and observe a lot. But observing does not only mean just looking, but really observing. So sometimes comparing, for example, you draw somebody, you try to draw somebody, and then you compare the drawing to the next person you're going to draw, and then try to observe the difference between those two people, for example. The difference of older people and younger people. How big are the ears compared to the nose, compared to different ages, for example. But I think the biggest point of getting good at facial proportions is always being aware of the always present triangle in the face. That's, I would say, is the most important thing. And I've once made a short, I don't know if you find it in my YouTube short section, probably, about the pizza triangle, the pizza method, which was kind of like a funny idea of teaching that to people. But it's literally that. It's literally thinking of a slice of pizza that lays on the face, and that you always keep in mind that usually that there is this triangle which is always there. And when you get kind of like the distance and you understand how far you can move things, then you're gonna get better with it. I hope that's helping. Otherwise, also continue to draw a lot of faces and draw more faces. Yeah, the underlying structure of the face is very important. It's not to neglect, especially the structure of the skull. So my students know that because I really annoy them with drawing skulls, and it's always part of practice because it's really important to understand why is that concave? Why do we have a certain bone here? Why can we bend the nose? Like certain behavior of the skull, and the whole underlying structure is really important. Yeah, I mean, at the end, it really comes down to drawing a lot of faces, right? Like knowing and executing are two things, right? They're not the same. You can know something very well, but you still cannot be able to do it. Like I always say, technically I'm a hell of a golfer, but practically I suck. So. Today I have my own music in my ear. I just cannot listen to this license music anymore right now. So sorry. So if you're staying a bit longer today, it makes sense if you put in your own music. If anyone has any question, just shoot. If anyone is new here, don't be afraid. Everyone is nice. Just ask whatever you want to ask. If you just want to lurk or draw along, whatever, feel free to do whatever. No pressure in here. I've been drawing a lot of people smoking, yes. You know, it's the only thing I can't do is smoking. Not anymore. It's kind of like the cheat code of making people look cool. It's kind of like designing everything with triangles and spikes. It's the most amateurish decision you can do. See. Hey Lucius Midas. You used to smoke? Yes, I smoked. But I stopped when I started playing football more seriously. I don't want to say professionally because it sounds so douchey, since we were still kids. I mean, it was the highest league in Germany and in Europe, but still, like saying that I played it professionally when I was 17 sounds like, I don't know, sounds kind of dumb. Don't want to make it bigger as it was. How about you? Did you smoke when you had your blue hair phase? Dr. Three Hands, hi, welcome to the stream. Do you have any tips for someone who has no limbs? You mean drawing tips? If you have no limbs, I mean, first of all respect goes to you. If you try to draw with no limbs. Don't rush, take your time, I guess. Take enough breaks and pauses. I hope I understood the question correctly. When I wore my hair blue, people would flirt with me all the time and ask about my tattoos. Okay, that's kind of random. I was never ever a baddie. I guess in your time this how you say, this saying didn't existed, you know? These made up words by all these Gen Zers. Oh, I hate this blue on the names. What is this? Verma. Hi, Verma. What a mess. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. He's used to it. It's kind of like people smoking in cars, you know? You always imagine the smell. Jano Strong's Defy Intelligence. Absolutely. There's no how you say, no frame for my intelligence. He has an automatic air condition cleaning system in his suit. Let's say it like this. You guys are all Germans, right? Always like the first thing is like, how does this work? This is not correct. Yeah. We all do have German ancestors. That's true. Because we Germans are actually just a mix from all directions. And then there's some people talking about German being a genetic thing. Yeah. For cat hair. Because you don't like cats. Both, I would say. Like I feel like what you said is a good explanation. There is no limit for defining my intelligence. Hey Adri, how are you? I'm good. How are you? How are you? What's up? What's up? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Small veggie harvest, nice. What type of veggies do you have? It's a one pager. It's about two guys being on a planet inspecting the landscape, and then something is happening. And yeah, the end you see when I'm there later in the stream. Okay. Wo ist jetzt dieses komische Dreieck? Da. Never done this on stream. It's kind of funny though, because usually I try to be as focused as possible to not make any mistakes. But today I'm a little bit in a I don't give a shit attitude, which is kind of good. I like that. Mm-hmm. Is this glue on my straight? Okay, let's see if that goes. Fuck. And that's what I was talking about. Well, that has dramatic effect. That's nice. Shit. Always this fucking ink shit. Gives me fucking nerve, excuse me. I just freehand this. Every time I do the same mistake. Every time. I just freehanded. Much better. God damn it. Yeah, I just keep it. Maybe I just do it on the opposite side as well. So it looks intentional. I have such a big table and I never have space here. Hey Haruki, how are you? Hey Protopia. Welcome to the stream. What's up, folks? What's going up? What's going on? Doing well. That's nice. It's nice to hear. Okay, wait, where's this ink side? It's this one, right? The oil ink. You could put 2 coins on the ruler so it won't smudge on the paper. Good that I have no coins, but good thing. I'm gonna remember that. Thank you. Hey, if you have more like this, gimme. Let me know. That's the thing when you grow up with Photoshop. Mm-hmm. That being said, this was just great. Thanks. Hey, Chad, how are you? How are you doing? Mm-hmm. I mean, since this is here for fun and for learning, no hard feelings. I had so much fun today making this story up when I was in the cafe that when I came back to my studio, I straight up just sketched it out. So how do we do this? Mm-hmm. Hey, Marky Mark, supporting Twitch stream. How are you doing? Did you have a good week? So if I'm fast enough, we're gonna paint this also. Like watercolor's already there, so. That's nice. What are these pillars? They're kind of like floating mountains or rocks. Do you have any tips for watercolor? Do you have any? Can you be a bit more specific? Like, because then you're gonna get a very general answer on watercolor. I don't know if that's what you want. Is anyone going? Anyone who's in Berlin is going to the comic invasion this weekend? Because I really wanted to visit it at least once. But tomorrow I have I gotta work tomorrow. So I have 2 students and I also wanna spend some time with my girlfriend. But maybe I go on Sunday. So I'm not really sure yet. But I thought since it's tomorrow, could be cool to visit. Oh, ich sollte vielleicht mal reinzoomen hier mal. Hey Manny, sorry, your name is too long. Hey Manny. Oh, I didn't hear about that. Not sure if I have this time. Okay. Comics, a visual storytelling medium. Yeah. We tried it, chat. It's really fun. And when you do it with a nib also, it's so slow. Actually, I have no problem starting a story, but I get lost inside of the plots and never end. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why you should do one pages. Like the goal of a one pager is to, like, if whenever you want to try, also you don't really need to be interested in doing comics or something, but just want to learn paneling or framing also, or storytelling, because also a lot of great artists I met in production, professional production, who were very good storytellers and made great compositions, had a history in comics. And I just realized that, okay, that makes total sense, because all they do is frames all day. And when you do a one-pager, the goal is to tell a story over one page, where you establish the story, where you have a midsection with a climax, and then you have an end. And that kind of like limits you to one page, but also you keep the focus there. So you are not doing endless amount of frames. I remember the first time I've done like one short story, I put like 12 frames on one page. Like, it was insanity. Like, there was no flow for readability. So that's kind of like the hard part, but it's also really good to learn that. I did my last comic over 20 years ago. You liar. You're way too young for this. How old are you actually? Are we same age? Oh no, you're younger, right? I was now when I stopped drawing. Well, what can I say? That's sad for us. Think about the art you could have done so far. So how far are we in 1 hour? I don't know if I can. I really want to paint this thing on stream today, but I'm not sure if I'm fast enough. Hey, yeah, have a good one too, Chad. Have a good one. Thanks for stepping in. Send me stuff if you need feedback. We can go over it tomorrow. All kinds of holes pull us in. All right, Adam. All right. Not sure where that's coming from. You want to have a chat about it? You know, some people are afraid of holes. Some people are into holes. Some people are getting dragged in by them. Happens everywhere. Life dealing with holes. Like in Iceland with a whirlpool, that's no one that goes, for example. Ah, yeah, okay, that's what you meant, right? That is very true. That is very true. Getting about the flow, trying to get you home. Getting about the flow. I'm good, Adam. I had already breakfast 10 hours ago because here it's evening. How about you? Did you had breakfast? Then this dog deserves a biscuit. Wow. Okay. did you call yourself the dog of the house? Your pizza arrived. Nice. It's Friday, right? True. There should be some pizza somewhere in this world. Hey Juan, how are you? Yeah, just freestyling today. But I'm kind of slow, like 1.5 hours, and I haven't inked half yet. But I guess like so it is. Water's too strong. I have this softbox standing behind to lighten up this here. And it's always tiring my eyes so quick. It's insane. Dude, learn to draw first, maybe. That's a good idea, Jean. Very good idea. In authors group, people flood feed with AI covers. What is authors group? What's that? I mean, of course, people flood shit with AI covers because they finally can do something that goes a bit more than over their 2 cents of abilities to produce an image, to frame it nicely. What can we say? It has no meaning. It's probably just annoying, but that's it. So if it's authors group, that means it's writing, I guess, right? So yeah, it's also kind of like they probably also use AI for writing then, right? Everybody is an author. But you know what? I saw a really cool clip from the guy who, I forgot his name, the guy who wrote the Witches book. He said, somebody asked him like what he thinks about AI writing. And quote unquote, he said, AI writing for him is comparing a male sex organ with a sex toy. Oh, that really made my day. Microwaving food and calling your chef? But would you say that chefs never use microwaves in a kitchen? Like never, never? Hey Mosup, face red heart shape. Funny. Funny that it's written there. What's up? How you doing? Hey, Anna, say something to entertain us. No, sorry. Nothing I have to say. I want to finish this page before I leave. But I get tired. So if I start speaking now, I have problems, you know? Like, I'm not even done with the inking yet. Then I have to take all the pencil out, ink even more. And then I actually want to paint it, but not sure if that's gonna work. But if it's too boring for you, you can also eat your pizza and watch a nice TV show or something if you want to. Appreciate you coming here every time anyways. Then put a song. Okay, let me put a song. Immer diese Extrawürste hier. Mann, 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 Mann. Oh. Elevator music. Just because of one person. You're welcome, Ned. You can wait long for this. Why should I visit? I have so much to do. Barely visit my own family. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good point. If you know how to catch me. If you now also say you have the best chicken in the country, then I'm almost there. Do you often go to these museums there? Yeah, I mean, Paris is quite nice. Paris is quite nice. I do want to say I really enjoy Paris every time I'm there. I mean, not only museums, I mean also like just architecture in general. But also like I don't know, just the environment is so nice. I don't know why people hate Paris so much. I mean, I guess it's also a lot of like a lot of different opinions about Paris. Je suis parisien plus non plus. Je suis parisien non plus. You're not a Parisian. Berlin is better to live, Janusz. I lived there and I wouldn't go back. You live in Paris? Oh, okay. What do you think is the biggest downside of living in Paris? Maybe it's maybe I like it just because I only go there for a few days all the time. Oh, sorry, Ned, but this music is really annoying. Wait, can I turn it off so you guys can still hear it, but I don't? Oh yeah, that works. Perfect. Okay. But who's it tailored for? Tourist? I mean, we kind of like have similar problems here. But I guess like if you go a bit outside in Berlin, you have like nicer areas which are affordable. But I'm really surprised about all the prices, especially for food and stuff. I just came from Thailand, and obviously in Thailand, like food-wise, everything is much more affordable. But it's always shocking when you go to Asia and I mean, even if you go to Seoul, like it's a big modern city, like food is so much cheaper there than here. And it's we're talking about food, right? Like something that we need. It's so annoying that like inflation always pushes stuff up so much. Just realizing I'm losing focus. Too much work this week. So Ned, what's the plan for you? Right now you're coloring comics on a freelance base, right? Like what is the plan for your artistic future? Do you want to do your own stuff? Do you want to learn? Have you thought about it? Mm-mm. Do I look like a guy with a plan? ah, oh, that was like, hey, you know what? Like I could have guessed what you said. I could have guessed. I love that. Love that. Love that answer. You're like serious, fam. Do I look like I have a plan? What are these two things that you want to do? Okay, cool. So you do have a plan. So do you go to what's this called, Angoulême or something? When is it actually? Is it this year or was it already? It's so weird that like Lightbox Expo and like THU and all this is like all at the same time. It was canceled this year. Wasn't there kind of like this like I saw this Instagram post by this, I think it was a woman, right? And she like she openly talked about a lot of problems there. Was it canceled because of that? Or was it just canceled in general? Or was it canceled? Like canceled? Was it also sexual harassment? I don't remember properly. Yeah, okay. So basically, everybody was aligned and d'accord, and then they decided like, okay, they're not gonna have it. Well, I guess then, does it gonna happen again? Do you think? What's your personal opinion? I don't know who are all these like sexual predators. It seems like, I mean, it's great that like these days it gets shown, but like it's insane how much this stuff happens. I think so. They changed the company that was organized it since they are linked it to the problem. Okay. Yeah, well. Um, I think if you go on Instagram, Nat, and you just type uh, Angoulême, I'll probably say it wrong. Like Protopia wrote it in the chat. Angoulême. If you type it in Instagram, you probably find the post. How much hours are we drawing? 2 hours and 10 minutes. Hey, why I'm so slow today? I'm so slow. a second. Sorry, bin am Stream. Alles gut, alles gut. Schönes Wochenende, seid ihr fertig? Für heute, ja. Ja, ich bin erst Montag wieder da. Schönes Wochenende, viel Spaß. Ciao. Sorry, I had to say goodbye to the band. That's the question of my life, why I'm so slow. Well, slow isn't bad, you know? Just in certain things. Like choosing food in a fast food shop. Like my English today sucks, man. Like you know these new counters where you type on what you want. Yeah, okay. If it's usually the last week of January, okay. Is there a typo in individual? Individual. 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 I don't think so, no. Maybe it looks like this because of the pencil. But maybe it is. I don't mind. That everybody knows. It's not a German guy. N? It should be N? Could be. I changed it on the fly. Interesting. The whole provides an individual gravity. You know what? Let's double check. An individual? Okay. I believe you guys. I'm gonna add an N. There's enough space for it. Thank you so much for pointing it out. Thank you so much. Boom. Done. Janos trying to speak French is so much better than Portuguese. Oh. Wait, yeah. Most definitely. Better than my Portuguese. Okay, I'm gonna pee. Be right back. It is former English teacher here. Are you a former English teacher? Did you work as an English teacher? And thanks, Roland, again. Thank you so much for pointing it out. By the way, Protopia, did you went to Angoulême before? Is it like a typical comic? Is it like a I mean, I say typical, never being to an event like a Comic-Con, but like, how can I imagine that's gonna happen? You can type it in the chat. I'm gonna quickly go to the toilet. Be right back. Ah, you grew up there. It's the biggest comic event in Europe. Okay. But do you think it makes sense to go as an artist even if you don't do comics? Because that sounds like I when I ever see videos of these events, it seems so disconnected in a way publicly because it's too many people. Like if you shy and introverted, like how do you get to know the people? And also like if there's somebody at a table and they like, I don't know, do you go to them and then you say like, hey, I always wanted to know how you smell. I don't know. I mean, it's always interesting, but it's so big that it takes a lot of time to get different sections. Yeah, that's a bit the critic about. It's too big, less human. If your goal is comics, then this is the place. How long did it take you to do pencil for this page? Sorry. First of all, hey, Glad Geister. How long did it took me to do the pencil? I don't know. An hour or 2 hours, I think. The thing is, like, I was in a cafe today, and I had this page here in my sketchbook, the left one, and I just thought about, okay, what could be cool to just make a story out of it. So I just doodled the right side in, and then when I came back into my studio, I realized, okay, I have everything done for this week, or for today, basically. So I put in some time to put in the pencils, try to think about the frames and changing that. So I would say something between 1 to 2 hours, approximately. If it's animation, it's NSE. I also didn't went there. The whole city economics are based around comics and animation. Oh, really? So they probably also have like really good comic book stores, I guess. There are even painted comics on many buildings around the city. Wow. But why is it that way? Like, how did that happen? Do you know that? Do you think it's worthy to go there to show your portfolio? Honestly, I haven't been for a long time. Living in Berlin, so about 13 years. You live in Berlin for 13 years? Do I know you? The Himbo is back. What's a Himbo? I'm not old enough to answer. You mean my question? Okay. I was confused. Okay, I'm just asking chat. That's fine. Just, you know what? Let's do it right now. That's gonna be fun then. One sec. Chat, please explain me why Angoulême is so big in comics and prominent there.
Angoulême is pretty much a mecca for comic lovers because it hosts one of the biggest and most important comic festivals in the world, the Angoulême International Comics Festival. Since the 1970s, that festival has drawn global artists, publishers, and fans. It's basically a huge celebration of comics, awarding prestigious prizes, showcasing all kinds of work, and creating a cultural hub. Over time, that spotlight has drawn comic artists and publishers to the city, so it's become a kind of comic capital in Europe.
Yeah, but how did it start? Why?
It really kicked off in the early 1970s. There was a growing interest in comics as an art form, especially in France, where comics, or bande dessinée, were taken seriously as culture. A few local enthusiasts, along with some key figures in the comics world, thought the medium deserved a major cultural platform. So in 1974, they launched the first Angoulême Festival. The city itself embraced the idea, and the festival quickly gained traction. As it grew, it brought international recognition to the city, which then invested in things like the Comics Museum. So it began as a local passion project and then snowballed into a global event.
But who? We need names. Who were these people?
One of the key figures was Francis Grue. He was a local cultural official who really believed in elevating comics. Then you had Jean Mardikian, the deputy mayor who supported the idea, and just as crucial, you had Claude Moliterni, a well-known comic historian and writer, along with Pierre Pascal, a journalist. Together, they were the driving force behind creating that first festival. Without them, Angoulême wouldn't have gotten that comic crown.
Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. It's a pretty fascinating...
Ja. See, you came here to learn something. How long you've been doing comics for? I'm not doing comics. I think me doing comics is definitely an overstatement. I'm just a comic enthusiast, I would say. I just love learning about it right now. For the past 6 months, I just started to do little pages, frames, stories. Yeah, so maybe 6 months or something. Like, besides that, I draw every day, but I draw a lot. I draw a lot because I'm a concept artist working in games and movies. So yeah, it's actually my job. But majority was digital, and for the past 2 years I only do traditional work stuff for myself, basically. Trying to see where it goes. You know, just following my gut feeling and the things I like doing, you know. That's always my ultimate recipe for happiness. Just doing the things I like doing until I don't like doing them anymore. How about you? Did you do comics? The English pronunciation of French is terrible. Yeah, you know what? It's also funny because sometimes it switches from American to English. You know, it's insane. It doesn't matter, bro. You already know the fundamentals. You look really good doing it. I'm making my first one right now. Not big, just small. Also good for you drawing the same. Here. Are you drawing daily? Yeah, awesome. Any tips if you could help? You mean me giving you tips? Or you want to give me tips? I mean, I'm open for any tips. But so far what I've noticed of like... The thing is like, the whole comic thing started also because of my students. Because I'm teaching one-on-one. So I'm teaching fundamentals, painting, drawing, designing, helping people to build portfolios for concept work, so the stuff I've done for the past 8 years. But I also got more and more people who are interested also in comics. So obviously I can't tell them like random stuff, and I'm always like figuring out how can I help them to actually do comics. So I had to go into learning it more about myself. And then I realized it's actually really fun. So I think number one, when you really want to do comics, which I already realized, is doing one-pagers basically every day. Like you can literally do a one-pager every day, and you don't need to ink them, you don't need to paint them. What I would do, I would try to make a story every day, just one. Establish a location, like, you know, like establish basically where we are right from the get-go. In the first frame, like where are we? Then the story build up to the climax, and then an end, you know, on one page. And if you're really good and you really want a challenge without any words, giving context, because that will train you visual storytelling in the most purest form, and you will also learn to shift your thinking in visual keys. So you start to think more like a movie, you know, having like what frame would come next. And then you become your own director. And when you become your own director, then it's much easier to tell a story. And then you also start to think about stories like, okay, do I actually want to tell a funny story? Do I want to tell a mature story, a romantic story, a stupid story, and like a sad story? There's like so many levels of doing that. The other thing I would do is pick an easy medium. Like, lucky for me, for the past 2 years, I completely stopped doing pencil work traditional. I only did ink. So that's I'm always do ink directly. And I also tried that for comics, and like this stuff here, for example, is also ink directly. Like, I don't do any pencil for this, because for me, like it feels like a waste of time doing that. I'm also drawing people every day, so that's kind of like my thing. But I also realized, okay, I have to do some pencil when I do this stuff here, because you have to change so much, and it doesn't make any sense to do it directly, you know. Also, I want to learn, so I take me a little bit the freedom away of trying different angles. So I would say what's definitely important is to take a medium that is absolutely comfortable for you. So I think if you would do, like, just think about, make the math, you know, you do 5 to 6 one-pagers a week. Let's say 5, right? Monday to Friday. You do 5 one-pagers a week, then it would be 20 in a month. Like, think about how many one-pagers that is in a month. And now think about in a year, right? I mean, let's say you do like at least, I don't know, maybe 6 months where you go full force. So you have like 121 pages. So you will insanely level up your storytelling, you know? Your storytelling, but also your framing, you know? Your framing and your the way you tell story. But I think what is really important, because I've seen it on some people's TikToks. Yes, I go on TikTok sometimes. Like, for some people, they completely neglect practicing fundamentals on the side. Like perspective. Like, perspective is one of the most important thing, but also how to set a proper horizon line, you know? Like, okay, I want to make an establishing shot, a wide landscape. Where do I set my horizon line? What happens when I put it up? What happens when I put it down? What happens when I put it right in the middle, like symmetrically? You never want to do that, for example. How can I bring a camera close to a face? Like, how can I push it more, you know? How can I communicate volume, but also how do I make sure that I draw a nice shape? Like these fundamentals in drawing, for example, I think it's so important. And then on top of that, design as well, right? Designing things, which is really tough also, because you work with references, but you also want to do your own thing. And I think that's really good when Mobius comes into play. Like he said, he done this more automatic type of comic making, where he would just like come up with the story on the flow. So he took automatic drawing and he made a story out of that, you know? So yeah. Doing what I like never led me to anywhere. No, it's hard. No, you know, I think you probably overstate that. Do you prefer drawing diesel punk like World War II? Never. Some of my students are doing that. They do like diesel punk. I find it cool, but I've never done it myself. You're welcome. You're welcome. Framed Inc. 1 and 2, especially 2, are really good regarding composition, rhythm, framing, storytelling. Must read. They're absolutely good to have as a library. Must read because there's a lot of words in there and there's a lot of like talking over specific subjects widely. I feel like you technically almost don't need the words, which is good. It's good for the book, right? But it's the same with having theoretical knowledge and application of practical knowledge in a way, right? But going through it once is definitely good. How does focal length affect storytelling? Do you have certain films you use inspiration for framing? That's a really great question, by the way. I think focal length, for me, I am again very blessed by the fact that I worked as an environment concept artist for multiple years, and I would also use 3D in the process. And when I use 3D in Blender, I would change the camera. So in Blender, you can change the millimeters of the camera. And I would play a lot with it because I would get bored after a few times of doing certain lengths. So I'm thinking about it constantly. If it's a 9mm, if it's a 56mm, I constantly think about that. Also, I'm using, like you see here, I'm using different lenses myself when I film also, which is also great, by the way, like filming and making photos. I also just understood how powerful photos are when you travel, because what I a little bit regret is that I haven't took too many photos of things I found interesting when I was traveling. And I just started doing that more and more. Any TV series you like? There's a lot of TV series I like. What's one that I just finished? I don't know. I finished Landman. I don't know. It's probably not so exciting. But yeah, I finished Landman. I kind of liked it. What else? Finished JJK. I probably have to go in my thing here and look what I all just watched. I can tell you what I just watched on Crunchyroll. So I just started Atelier of Witch Hat. I was reincarnated as a slime. Was kind of entertaining, but I just watched it when I washed dishes. In season 2. Ace of Diamonds, which is a baseball anime. For episode 47, but kind of slow. Shangri-La Frontier, I kind of stopped at episode 40. Finished My Hero Academia. Frieren. I kind of did not really get into Sentence to Be a Hero. Like, there was way too much hype, in my opinion. I watched MF Ghost. That was kind of cool. I actually wanted to see the retro version of it. Yeah, obviously One Piece. I'm updated as always. Just started Rent a Girlfriend. It's kind of funny. So now let's move over to normal TV series. Oh, I started Penguin. I was surprised. I really liked the framing. Also, House of Dragons. I didn't found it that bad. Invincible, finished Invincible. Mayor of Kingston was really nice. I can go on and on, to be honest. Like, I don't know. Okay, let me see if there's one thing that I thought that was really good. That is a must watch. By the way, Bloodhound Season 2, it's not a must watch. Oh, I liked Silo. Silo was really good. I liked Monarch, Legacy of Monsters also. That was pretty good. Yeah, so many series. Sorry if I went too far. How to Get to Heaven from Belfast on Netflix is on. Okay, How to Get to Heaven from Belfast? Oh, I just have one. Day of the Jackal. I watched that on Wow, I think. That was really good. It's actually a like it was. There was an old version of it, of a book, I think, and then they made an old TV series or an old movie, and then they redone it. I really like that one. How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. Here it goes. Okay, it's on my list. Thanks for sharing. Oh, camera just went off. Okay, folks. I guess then that's time to call the stream a stream. If the camera wants to go to sleep, let me quickly change the camera here. Okay, I'm just quickly do the how you say, the outro. Thanks everyone for being here. Unfortunately, we didn't finish it. But yeah, next step is basically inking the rest, taking out the pencil, going over with ink again, and then painting it with watercolor. So that's gonna be, I do this off stream. So if you want to see the final result, you can see it on my Instagram, just my name, and then just follow me there. Next stream will be on Friday. We have our Friday evening stream every week. Yeah, and otherwise, thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate it. And yeah, I wish you all having a great weekend, and maybe see you next week on stream again. Likewise. Thank you so much. Have a good one. There. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.